Can you dig it?
Yeah! Oh, that was gorgeous. Thank you so much. Well, welcome everybody on this gloriously sunny day, on this Monday, which is of course Mallrats Monday. Waterdeep Mallrats Dragon Heist episode 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So welcome everybody.
Lean in character, Joe.
Very, very true. God, I miss him so much. He is so sad he's dead. So I'm very glad that everyone's here. I know that you could be out in the sunshine, but instead you chose to sit down and watch us nerds play D&D. So I am hugely thankful for that. So thank you for joining us.
Mwah.
Love.
We love you.
Love you, nerds.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've had a lovely week this week. I've been seeing some beautiful weather, doing a bit of gardening, because continuing the old theme that I've been going on, and making sure that I'm sticking to that kind of over 40s, even though I'm not there yet, lifestyle. Getting my lawn ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Law and order.
Law and order.
And so, as usual, if you're here in the chat, say hi. We'd like to do the roll call. I can see that there's already some people getting our vitamin D&D on. Absolutely. Stuart's here. See Mark is already here. Heavens Bevins is here. I've seen that Red Panda's here. Really great to see you. Whoop, 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 whoop. Really lovely to see you guys. And I say, I think we should just sort of see how everybody else is doing. So, I just noticed an ice cream there. How you doing, Gabs?
Oh my god, I'm good, thanks. This really is AMSMR. Oh, that's a dyslexic nightmare, that, isn't it? I'm good.
Three
thanks.
letters.
Pardon?
3 letters, one after another.
Yeah.
That's like
I don't know what it is. I've got a Biscoffee biscuit ice cream. It's amazing, but I really think the sugar's now gone to my head.
Oh,
I
man.
can't string a sentence together.
Have you ever had the biscotti spread?
There's a spread.
You have it on toast, like toast and Biscoffee.
You can do, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually put it on top of cheesecake, like cashew cheesecake. Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Drizzle. Yeah.
It's vegan. It's vegan as well, which is just madness.
Or you can just eat it straight out of the jar with a spoon.
Yeah.
Or fingers.
Just get your finger in, dip it in. So much audio and visual coming from Gabs this week.
Might be a bit too much, no?
On Wednesday, it's just going to be Gab eating things through the mic on one of the instead of the saboteurs. It's just going to be with the M&S video, M&S music in the back.
So good. Well, I'm glad that you're really good today and you're enjoying your ice cream. I think there's a big thank you to say to everybody for sorting us out with this microphone, which has been fantastic. As you heard, it is absolutely gorgeous. So thank you so much for that. Mark has been asking what our new sub goal is. We'll be setting one up for next week, but we decided to leave it as it is at the moment. Mama Thorpe is reading on the resubs.
Oh yeah, Mama Thorpe.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mama Thorpe. That actually does remind me about the next thing. All our sort of Prime gamers out there, if it's usually around this sort of time of the month that we look at resubbing. So if you do need to, just drop it in. That would be fantastic. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I love you very much. Bye. But I think our new sub goals will be announcing next week. As we start into a new month, we're going to try and do them monthly from now on. But we are only 10 away from our follow goal. So
Amazing.
I know, right? So if you are sort of lurking in the background, you don't engage in chat, that's absolutely fine. But just give us a follow, because that is actually something that we really appreciate more than anything else in the entire world, I think. So thank you for that.
Joseph.
Yes, mate.
Can I give a very gentle tease as to what we might be sub-goaling for?
Maybe.
Shall I do it now?
Yeah, go ahead, do it now.
So I won't say too many things. We'll do the proper details next week. But our next sub-goal over the next couple of months is going to be for something quite ambitious and quite exciting, but also quite big. So the sub goals we're going to be doing monthly are going to be putting together something that's going to be a lot of fun. And that's all I'm going to say this time.
Exactly.
But it's ambitious and I'm excited. I'm so excited. I've had like little conversations with everyone as we've gone, and this is the first time since I've had a conversation with everyone that I've gone, oh my god, we can talk about things now. I'll do it properly next week.
Really, really lovely. And because also in a couple of months' time as well, we've got some announcements that are going to start trickling in as well. Because we're currently now coming into our 11th month. Now that can only mean one thing once we get past 11th month. I know, right?
It's almost
That's
Christmas.
it. That's my teaser.
What comes after 11?
Yeah, so we're going to be playing some really fun stuff and sort of looking at some quite exciting moments to kind of plays that I know were such good teasers, aren't we? 12 months in a movie. Yep. That's
Great community reference, Mark.
So that's going to be really fun. I'm also going to be dropping in the link later on for our Discord server, which we're going to be starting.
Discord!
I know I have no idea what Discord is or how we do it, but hey, we're all learning, we're all having fun. So I'll drop a link in there a little bit later on. So to continue on what we were actually doing, let's see, Dan, actually, you look like you're distracted. How are you doing?
I'm not eating ice cream, so thankfully I can talk. Now I've gone back to like time-rich life. It's been really lovely. And you know, my time-rich life has mostly consisted of talking to my nan a lot. Today she thought I had housemaids instead of housemates. Proceeded to berate me for not doing my own ironing, which was really funny because she thought I had two. I was like, oh, it's my housemate. She's like, you what? Yeah, my housemate. How many have you got? 2. You've got 2? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, why aren't you doing your own ironing? I was like, no, not housemaids. They don't work for me. They're not staff. But yeah, that's another thing. My housemates are both back. Like I've been by myself for 5 months in the house, and then this weekend, the last 5 days, I've got my lovely house is back to full again. So that's really nice. Yeah,
that's lovely. Oh,
I did such a shame clean. Oh my god.
It's like, why am I pants in the kitchen?
Oh, literally, like I think it was about 20 minutes. I finished about 20 minutes before the first housemate opened the door. I was like, hey, what's up? This has been like this the whole time.
That's like
so
your
good.
parents have gone away and you've had a party with all your mates around. Clean up.
Literally. I'm a spreader. I'm a messy spreader. Like it just all of a sudden things just
Mark
appear.
has said it right. Mark is absolutely right. Translation: Dan has to start wearing clothes around the house again.
Now, Mark, if you knew anything about me, which you clearly do not, is that I barely wear any clothes anyway. Have you ever seen me from the waist down, Mark?
No.
Nope.
And that's
None
the
of
secret
us have.
that you'll keep.
Yep.
No.
Is it your little nudie doody?
Yeah, see, I'll show you now. It's fine.
Hey!
Hey, we all saw that on
Yeah,
our end.
yeah.
It was special.
It was in line with Pups.
And it was weird the way the camera blurred it as well.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Oh, that's just like a thing that I stick over it. It's just like a pixelated like sheath.
Let's stop talking about Dan Burman's penis.
Yes. Really lovely. Yeah.
D&D.
See, D&D peenie.
So professional. We're
Oh, God, that
so
just went a
professional.
whole other- yeah.
Whole other level, right.
Yes. Well, you know, maybe this whole thing was the tease for the next sub goal. Maybe that was all just clues, you know.
Maybe that's it. Striptease. Right. So, Rob, how you doing, mate?
Yep, good. Thanks. Do I have news? I got a new t-shirt. It's a Simpsons t-shirt. Oh, ho, 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 Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel.
So nice.
Yep, delighted. Dan recently fired his housemaids, so I've reluctantly brought them on over here. Place is looking spotless. got a glass of whiskey, went out for a nice walk today. Got infuriated with people on bikes. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
Well, I'm glad.
Thanks. Cool. Move on.
I mean, we could always circle back, guys. It seems that I thought I was going to be the most awkward part of this conversation, but actually, it was quite freeing.
Oh, sorry, my camera just went off. I turned into a plug. I turned into a plug
Did
for
you
a sec.
Get your penis out as well.
I did.
Very
Yeah, I
exciting.
did. It was very fast. Very, very fast. Gone again. It's going for a walk or something, I'm sure. So, Evie, how are you doing? Just to move on from penis talks.
Oh.
We shouldn't be talking about penises.
No, let's. I won't mention. I won't mention any cock. I'm good, thanks. I'm doing all right. I was really, really happy the other day because I was catching up on Line of Duty. Right. New series is out, BBC iPlayer. And in the first episode of the newest series, they used the word banjaxed.
It's bad.
And yeah, right. And I literally was like, no! Grabbed my laptop and was like, surely not. And I went back to re-listen. Yeah, literally banjaxed. Yep. And it was the guy. It was the guy who's in charge of AC-12. I can never remember his name, but he's got
the
an
older
Irish accent.
one.
Yeah. And it just
Remember,
sounds...
there used to be a section where I would predict the future on this show. Short-lived, but cheese prices have increased, and the word banjaxed is returning.
Yeah, mate.
Oh, have you got any predictions for this week?
Yes, I do.
Go on.
I foresee the five of us perhaps meeting up in person for the first time in months.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
It might be the first time since 2019 that we've all been in the same place.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good year. Good year
say,
for wine that year.
Did you say Yuanti-19?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, if that happens, I mean, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
We'll see
that
what
would
happens
be really-
here. Yeah. I got an advantage. I'm really happy. But that would be interesting if that does come to true.
Yeah, I mean, that would truly solidify Rob as a true soothsayer, truthseer.
The gift.
I think so.
It's called the gift.
Yeah.
Gift.
Yeah.
A gift that just
It's
keeps
about
on giving.
time that I'm worshipped as a deity, if
Yeah.
I'm being completely honest.
I mean, I've got a shrine, but I don't know if a shrine means that you're.
But one person having a shrine does not make a deity, though.
I know. I've been trying.
I know you have. You will be sacrificed last.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. It
I
really
just
worries
can't
me,
take
that one.
down my back to right shrine, to be honest. I'm not. I need to stick to that. Back alive for life.
Back alive. Mm-hmm.
Baxter's back, all right. Oh, Joe, how are you?
Oh, great, thanks. I have a good one. I've been jumping onto new gaming today, this week. So I went back onto Baldur's Gate 3, and they just included the druid class,
Ooh.
which
Nice.
is so
Wow.
cool because you can turn into like badgers and stuff. So I've just been
Nice.
wandering around as a badger, and it has been brilliant. I had so much fun.
Is this the early access one?
Yeah, so they're adding new classes as they go, and this is the first new class I did. But it was literally like, okay, hey, you want to update? Yeah, sure, cool, yeah, I'll update. Yeah, 120 gigabyte. What?
120 gigs for an update.
Mm-hmm. That's how
Good
Baldur's
lord.
Gate works, man. But it's insane. It's absolutely brilliant.
Have you guys seen the Cyberpunk update? Cyberpunk 1.2 patch with like minor updates. Probably, I'm sorry I need to do it, but probably to get rid of the dick physics. But the list of things that they're doing is like someone did a video of like a fast scroll, and it's like a 4-minute video because it was such a blowout when it first came out. It was awful. It's like, yeah, this is our first update. We're just gonna change a few things.
Yeah.
Hopefully gonna make it playable.
No.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing. I had so many high hopes, as everybody did for Cyberpunk, but no. Oh, I love the streamlad. Like the bot is already attacking Bevins. What has Bevan said this week? Let's try and guess.
Ooh.
Do you think we should use like a very mild word like knobhead, or like?
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I mean,
she went for.
Yeah, she.
Because last time
the-
it was
what-
prick last time. What I
Right.
love is the fact that we can say these words, but the bot stops it in the chat. I really think that's hilarious.
I also love that Bevan's also then just goes and just starts typing profanity and sees what the edges are afterwards. Just go, there we go.
Let's see what the next one is. C. Oh, I wonder what this is going to be.
Tation. To phone.
There we go, Dick. There it is.
A huge dick in the chat.
Oh my word!
Literally a little bit of sun,
Oh.
guys. A little. But do you know what? I think this is going to happen. Like, you know, when after like the long winter months and everyone starts like going outside, like just so puerile.
That is
Top
a way to get
quality,
around
top
it.
quality. Yeah,
Oh,
there you
you
go.
guys are the best. We have the best audience ever. Oh my words! I want to get started on the D&D, but I'm just too interested talking about like penises
Too much
and
D in the
dicks.
chat.
Too much deep. Okay, so another thing that I've kind of looked at this week, I was watching DM Philly last night. Absolutely, goddamn loved that. That was fucking brilliant. Kings of Neon was absolutely fabulous. So yeah, I had so much fun watching that with our wonderful friend Clark as well. They're playing City of Mist, which is slightly away from our D&D roots, but it's absolutely brilliant. So if you want to pop over and just give them a follow at some point, that would be great. And they're a great watch to watch their VODs and onto their YouTube as well. I think it's DM Philly on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, DM Philly.
But they're also on tomorrow night for us. Tomorrow morning.
No, tonight. It's
Tonight.
tonight. Like
It's
yeah,
tonight.
tonight. Like after like it's about 1 o'clock in the morning tonight.
Right. Yeah,
That's the one.
absolutely. So if you fancy staying up, check them out. It's a lovely, lovely story, and DM Philly has Rich has the most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my entire life. It's just gorgeous. It sends me to sleep and makes me feel warm inside.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I want him to
Yeah.
narrate my life.
But yeah, so if you have a chance to check out DM Philly, that'd be great. Oh, something's come up in some sort of chat somewhere. This chat, gang. Okay, I'm not gonna read that.
Oh, that was me. Sorry, private chat.
Sorry, I heard a pew, and I was like, what's going on? Okay, so I'm going to just check out what we did last week. Should we do that?
Let's
Oh,
do
yeah.
it. Okay. Here we go. The sewers. A place for rats to rendezvous, for stench to celebrate, for feces to frolic, and for the Mallrats to meander. Last week's episode saw our heroes delving through the murky depths of the Waterdeep sewers in search of Floon Blagmar. Along the way, they found that they were being followed by a small kobold named Craig. Despite Oshi and Baggi's objections, the group decided to keep Craig with them as they searched for Floon. It was not long, however, before our stinking soldiers ran into some trouble. The sewers seemed to house not only rats and waste, but also a secret Xanathar hideout where we quickly encountered a fucking mind flayer and their deadly intellect devourer companion.
I know, right?
Escaping with our intellect and our lives intact, we managed to find and save the missing Floon Blagmar, bring him back to the yawning portal, and demand payment from the unbearable Volo. Instead of compensating us with the agreed sum of gold, it turned out that Volo was broke, and the only item of value that he had to offer us was the deed for a house in what district was it, Joe?
In the North Ward.
In the North Ward. Realizing that the deed had far more value to the Mallrats than a small sum of gold, the group set off to inspect their new home.
Nice. So yeah, so last week was full of lots and lots of different things. So I think of looking at like what guys at home is like your favorite moments from last week. So we did a little highlight video this week, looking at what we're just going to call little facts. Little Phatts, bless him. So if you had anything from last week of like you thought was like your favorite thing that happened last week, your favorite cyberpunk. Okay, they're talking about cyberpunk now instead. Okay, great. Thanks for watching us.
It's me. In fairness, I'm engaging in this ridiculousness.
Whoa, that is an amazing name, nerdy drunken monkey goblin. Thank you for the follow, getting us literally within 9 of our goal. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's very, very lovely. Yeah, and also from you guys, what was your favourite kind of moments from last week?
Stuart says favourite moment was the reaction to the mind flayer.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just don't expect to encounter a mind flayer at level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Especially in the module, it's supposed to be level 1.
Level 1 was an absolute shit show for all of us that lasted an eternity, it seemed. I don't,
15 weeks. 15 weeks of level 1.
15 weeks and 2 characters.
I'm terrified of what level 2 brings if mind flayers are around every corner.
I know you said you were going to up the CR rating for our because we get all the advantages, Joe, but bloody hell.
Yeah.
Although shrugged off a little level 8 spell though, didn't I?
Oh, man. Absolute legend.
Stillness of mind.
Yeah, hey, chuck me a level 8 spell, why not? And it was absolutely glorious that you kind of pushed that away. The only thing you can say is like, oh, cool.
Cool, don't attack me then, dick.
Dick floats away, leaves brain with feet next to you. But you nearly got brain swapped as well, which is quite fun.
I did nearly get brain swapped.
This is the wonderful thing about Intellect of Ours. It's literally just like you read the module and you're like, an intellect? Why? Why would you put an intellect of Ours? What? It's like it could literally take your brain and transport itself as your brain forever.
So then would Dan have been
Yes.
playing it? That
That would have been great.
All that internal chat just going on in your brain.
God.
I'd probably be like, okay, cool. You need to do the chat part in the chat, and then like that's Pups talking in the subconscious.
Well, luckily.
Yeah, luckily no. Yeah, Chris Perkins cycling through the Monster Manor, just YOLOing it encounters. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Stuart. So Chris Perkins is the guy who wrote the module, or sort of like threw it together and put some glue on it. And he's brilliant. I love Chris Perkins. But there is some crazy shit. It's just like, what the fuck is that doing there? Absolutely mental. I think another big favorite moments. Let's have a think. I mean, just like that moment of like little Phatts turning up and everyone going, yeah, let's just keep him. Yeah,
Well, not everyone thought that. Oshi and Baggi did not want a child to be with us while we navigated the sewers.
But it was
Likely,
Oshi's
are the
idea.
it was Oshi's idea. She wants to like maybe distraction techniques, dress him up as things.
Oshi wanted to use the kid as bait.
Well, or put him under like a cone.
Yeah,
Have him move the cone.
Moving the
Yeah.
cone sooner.
Yeah.
And then
Like
we
Like
Right.
in Toy Story, yeah.
So when you said dress him up,
where
I
is your
imagine-
moral compass at? Like, where you immediately gave the kid a cigar? Like,
Because I want him to be cool. I don't want him to grow up a nerd like us.
Oh,
Like
poor-
us, we are a collective nerd.
A collective.
Five of us.
we are one.
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Actually,
We are the
what-
nerd.
what is a collection of nerds?
Oh, nerdiniums.
Is it a
Nerdinium.
party of nerds?
It's not a
of
party,
nerds,
believe me.
roll,
Different
roll
kind of
of
party.
nerds. No,
Different kind of
it's
party.
not. No, an
Adventuring
awkward,
party.
an awkward of
Okay.
nerds.
An awkward of nerds. It's
Let's
so
ask the-
good.
ask
I
the
wonder
chat.
if there is one.
A laugh
Pimple.
of
A
nerds.
A
laugh
laugh
of
of
nerd.
nerds. There you go, Mark. I don't know. I think that's too obvious. A correction. A correction of
A
nerds.
calamity of nerds is quite good.
But either way, a stream of nerds is also a perfect one, which kind of brings us straight on to getting cracking on with this thing. All right, so thank you, Rob, for going through all of that. That was hugely important. So my deepest thanks and love.
It's fine. I forget every week that I've been tasked to do it, and then furiously get typing minutes before we're supposed to come on the stream. So whenever you see me, I'm always very in my own head, which usually bleeds into the stream. I'm not this grumpy in real life. Let's barrel on. I'm not talking about my nose.
I just love the upward inflection there on love, Joe. It was like, yeah, you have my respect, and what? I'm Ron Burgundy.
Oh, stay classy, everybody. All right, so let's get started. So as usual, we're going to jump into our montage, unless we've got anything else we want to talk about. We've chatted for 29 minutes.
That's a long
this.
time.
This is long by our standards, and it's still shorter than it's been in a long time.
So yeah, thanks.
Apparently, sorry, just quickly, it's a collective noun for nerds, an excitement of nerds.
What? I say a sweat. Sweat of nerds.
Sweat.
A sweat of nerds. Yeah, that's good.
It's nice to see Zach's just turned up. Hey, Zach.
Yeah, hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, Bag. Okay,
Everyone give him a big wave.
Hey.
I think it's this on their channel. I think they do a lot of this on their channel.
I like that.
But cool. Rob has point blank refused to do any surfing. Just like, nah.
I don't like the water. Anything I can't, if I fall on something and I sink into it, I don't like it.
Oh, mud?
Jelly?
Jelly? No, that's just encapsulated in hell, as far as I'm concerned. I want to dominate jelly. I don't want it to dominate me.
Cheesecake?
Cheesecake?
What about a vat of Guinness?
No, do we not already establish I don't want to get into my woes already?
I'm here for escapism.
That's very, very true. Oh, quick aside, yeah, absolutely. I have a little thing actually, like, oh no, I'm not going to talk about that. That's without consent. I can't talk about stuff like this without asking the person if I can share it. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let's crack on and get involved. So, a box. Small, wooden. Craftsmanship's all right. Nothing special. In a dark cupboard. As we see the light pour through the crack of the door as the door is swung open to the storeroom. As we see from the box's view as it lifts and sort of carries across like Rob Thompson walking around his apartment. As it moves forward and lands onto a table. The box is opened. Inside are hundreds of letters cast out of brass. As the letters begin, a hand comes forward and picks up a big capital B and moves it away. And another comes across a big capital L. As these hands are sort of moving over, we take across from the K as we move across, moving with the hand itself, and we see that they are lining up what looks like a printing press. We see page 1 of the Waterdeep Gazette begin to be formed in a box. A huge roller rolls across with black ink and covers every single letter as page comes down, presses, lifts, as a new set of ink is pasted onto the letters itself. As the paper comes down and lands onto the letters we cut to.
A small, quite skinny goblin walks very deliberately, feeling their hands alongside a canvas. It's Puggle. He reaches round to open up the store, feeling for each knot as he pulls the canopy up, going in to start his business for the day. As he gets behind his counter, his hands reach across and finds a little pouch, leather pouch. Fills up to a tag and finds a little like disc of wood runs his thumb over it, and there's like a crudely carved goblin. He smiles, opens up the little leather pouch, and out comes all these little blue beads that have been found along the way of our journey so far. Cut to.
Phatts didn't like talking about the war. He didn't like being reminded of the dead. He didn't like the pleasantries from the Waterdeep citizens. He didn't like the respectful nods from the city guards. And he hated, above all, Memorial Day. To him, it was a hollow celebration, a chance for all those that were kept safe during the war to romanticize the valiant efforts of its city's soldiers. Phatts looked down at Craig, the young kobold that they were taking care of, and tried to remind himself why he fought in the first place. Cut 2.
Oshi felt even smaller in the forest of legs of grown-ups silently slinking through the room with her grandmother in, lying there, motionless. Oshi couldn't look at her but remained still and stoic next to her head with Suatsa by her side. One Yuan-ti, who seemed to refuse to take down their hood, gleefully said, "At least she went as a fortunate Averell, asleep, calm, not ravaged by war." Oshi couldn't help but wince as her grandmother's late-night cries washed through her. Her grandma's peeling skin and broken teeth made her look ravaged, and all Oshi could remember her now was that. With her eyes closed, Oshi willed herself to remember her grandmother before death, but all she could see was her cracked, bleeding lips, watery eyes, and fear. This made Oshi shudder, feeling guilty for wishing her grandmother would be taken to Seth sooner. But what Oshi didn't realise was she would be sent away before her beloved grandmother would even be released to Seth. Cut 2.
We see Baggi wearing a long, hooded, deep red cloak, walking with purpose through a dying and decaying forest. Toadstools rotting at her feet, animal bones scattered, and bright purple moss covering rocks she walks. In the distance, we see a small fire with 4 huge orcs in a circle around it, chanting deep, guttural sounds. Baggi, still focused, walks. She gets closer, no expression. A large red eye appears out of the smoke, dancing off of the fire. She walks straight into the middle, and we see screams as sparks fly off her cloak, as we see Baggi scream herself to wake. Cut 2.
The paper lands and lifts, lands and lifts, lands and lifts as it continues on an automated system of the pages being folded over as they dry as they go through the warehouse. They're lifted, folded, rolled into a bag. As we see thousands of copies of the Waterdeep Gazette begin to be placed together, we see a child. He collects his bag, collects his 6 copper pieces, and runs off into the street. Today he has the North Ward to deal with, as he runs from street to street, throwing the newspaper around, chucking it into the hallways and into the beautiful gates of this middle-class northern ward. We see him toss a piece as it throws and twists and lands in front of a dilapidated, falling apart mansion that sits on Troll Skull Alley. A cart pulls up as we see these feet begin to sort of climb down. These tiny little feet of a kobold sort of swims around, these gigantic metallic feet. Small wrapped feet that are naked apart from the toes step onto the cobblestones. Boots, good, strong workers' boots, land. The heel looks as if it's full of steel itself, as the heel lands of a stiletto. Practical stiletto, none of this rubbish. As we see the camera goes through the ground and drops down below the city itself until we are in front of a great and ancient door. We travel through like ghosts as we are presented with a room that is piled high with hundreds and thousands of dragons.
Gas.
Lovely.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so
Lots of
you
things.
guys have made your way all the way up to a little place called Troll Skull Alley. And now you stand in front of I think it's a 4-story building. Let me just get the handout for you guys. 4-story building. And you can see that it has this like wonderful turret sort of cuts out through the middle. The bottom floor definitely looks higher as it kind of rises up above the street itself. You can see that there is like like almost looks like a tavern sign as you step off, and you just see it go and land as it shatters onto the ground. As you look at your new piece of property, and I turned into a plug again. You look into your new piece of property here in the posh North Ward. I think it's unusual for all of you to feel the solid feeling of cobblestones. And they're clean. There's no rubbish. There's no dung. There's no piss. There's no shit. There's no rats. Outside, at least. As you look up towards the porch, you see there's a newspaper lying on the ground. And I think you're all kind of stood in a long, long line outside of it, looking up at your new property.
Home sweet home.
I think that's the point in which the sign falls, actually. You say home sweet home, and then it's like...
Wow. How many rooms do you think is in there?
I don't know.
Enough for you three not to sleep in the same one anymore, anyway.
He really took the piss, though, didn't he? I didn't think we were turning up to somewhere like this.
But look at it. It looks like a tree house.
Mm.
This is
Yep.
a mansion by any Black Star standards, anyway, so.
Well, as long as there's enough room for me to have a study and a workshop, I'm pretty happy, to be fair.
You were
And a
really
gym.
adjusting to this lifestyle already. You were happy with just a place to sleep before.
Mm. True. It'd
I
be weird
think,
not sharing a bed. Oh, go on.
No, yeah, you say it's weird not sharing a bed, but you can already see that Big Phatts, his brain is already like clicking away and thinking of business ideas. Business ideas. Opportunities, business ideas. Sort of like clicking.
Airbnb.
Air D&D.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Evie.
As you're kind of like continually searching up and looking up at this building. And I think then this carriage kind of comes up next to you. And this very posh, sort of high elf steps off in full blacks. Okay, so you've made me get up on the 10th day of the week to come and sign off property. His little nose sort of twitches. So, who is the owner of this property who will be signing on?
I don't mind signing for it.
Oh, I see. And you have the 25 gold?
I do.
You will be the sole owner of this building.
I mean, I'm happy to put 4 names down. What do you need?
And he kind of like rolls out. Actually, no, this gnome runs out the other side, gets on their knees, and on their back is like a desk, like a travel desk, and he puts down the parchment in front. God, I hate the rich in Waterdeep. And then this little like inkwell sort of pops open, and he gets his quill, pops it in, and hands you over the quill, and you see that there's like a number of like names. Or actually it says what name, which is like the previous owner, Volatramp Godam, and then it has like a number of lines for the new owners that can be signed over.
We should
That's-
put 4. In case any of us aren't here to look after the place.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Good. I would like to go and have a meal if possible. Could you hurry this up a little?
Phatts signs his name.
Pups pulls Baggi to one side. What do you write? I've never had to sign anything before.
You just write your name, Pups. That's all they need.
Yeah, but there's 2 lines. You've got a last name. What do I put?
What do you want your last name to be?
Suha.
So we go over and we see Oshi go over to the desk as you guys are talking behind.
Oshi signs her name.
Big Phatts, you notice the calligraphy of Oshi's writing is perfect. I was about to do a French kiss then, and I was like, no, I'm going to do a chef's kiss instead. Is absolutely, it's perfect. It's extremely skilled.
You got good penmanship, you know that, Oshi?
Well, learn to write letters and they have to be legible.
Well, I may be coming to you in future with some of my business ideas. Speaking of which, you there, elf, you a smoking man?
Excuse me, you will use the words my lord.
Sorry, my lord. Smoking man? Sorry,
yes.
smoking, my lord.
Yes, I am a smoker, yes.
Well, should you come down to here in, I'd say, a month's time, you're going to find this place to be one of the finest cigar emporiums that you could possibly shake a match at.
Oh, I see. You plan to turn into a tobacconist.
Perhaps.
But I look forward to my first gift.
Well, here's your first gift.
And he hands him his card.
Oh. He turns it and is like, Big Phatts, didn't you have a shop in Blackstar?
Had a shop. Turns out that smoking shops tend to be rather flammable.
And kind of puts it in his pocket and then moves 3 gold pieces back towards you. Let's call it a small gift investment.
An investment of 3 gold, huh? Well, my lord, you shouldn't be so generous.
I know. But I hope to come past and see this thriving at some point. Now, can we please get on with this? And he's sort of looking up towards Baggi.
Baggi reaches into a pocket and pulls out her favourite pen, which is, it's like really fancy. She made it herself. It's got squid ink in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like more permanent.
And it's a preloaded, so it's sort of like low. You don't even have to dip it. It just sort of like, just cracks
it's like,
on.
And it's just like, really, I think actually this is the first time we see Baggi really showing off. Because it's like, I got a really cool pen. So she's really making a thing of it. Baggi, like stuff.
And Oshi still stood with the quill, like.
And his eyes have gone away from the quill. My word. That is amazing. Imagine the time that could be. How long have you been holding on to this particular invention?
A couple of months, maybe 5 or 6. It's pretty good, isn't it? Definitely saves a lot of time. I mean, if you're interested, I might be able to make you another one.
I think it's more important that you pattern this.
Pattern?
I mean, great inventors of the city are patterning inventions all the time. I think it's important that you design this and you get it signed. And literally with the pen. Oh my God, it's almost like it's circular. And he sort of becomes extremely excited about the bureaucracy of what's going on.
Baggi immediately shoves the pen back in deep within a pocket so that no one else could get any more glimpses of it. And just sort of starts fumbling and is like, thank you. and then leans in. Don't tell anyone.
Oh no! As long as I can be the first customer.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
It seems to me that this place can be a multitude of things from the tavern that it once was. This is an amazing opportunity, an amazing addition to this wonderful neighborhood.
Worth getting up on the 10th day of the month, then, huh?
I think so. Yes, Mr. Big Phatts. And then he's like goes to roll up the paper.
We don't need to.
Oh, my, and he rolls it back out again. My apologies.
Pups grabs the ink and like all good lefties, like writes and completely like smudges as he goes. Ends up with like a thing like that, and he's like wondering how to write Zuha, and just like maybe crosses it out a couple of times. It's a mess.
And I think he passes his hand across and casts prestidigitation, and like cleans up all the smudges.
Mm.
And you can see your name, Pups Zuha, written across the bottom. Well, he rolls it back up. Here's your keys. Enjoy your new
Thank you.
property.
We will, my lord.
If you excuse me, and he kind of gets back in his thing. It's like, Gerald! And Gerald kind of like gets up from his desk position like a transformer, and like climbs back into the. It gets into the boot of the coach, the carriage, and goes off. And you're left in this kind of dusty silence of the summer heat of this building, kind of kicking up in front of you.
Well, if this place needs furniture, I'm sure Gerald could get some work as a chair.
And little Phatts kind of lays his head over and goes like, "Is everybody always as mean as that?"
Yeah, afraid so, little Phatts. Want to smoke?
I've and he pulls out his soggy end that he's still got from the sewers. I still got some.
Okay. You just let me know.
And he looks up. He's like, wow. Stairs.
I've got a story to tell you about stairs one day, little Phatts.
Really? And he points up at the tower that's up there, and he's like, "The tower! Can I have it?" And everyone goes silent for a second, and nobody wants to agree to anything.
I'll let you have it if you can beat me there. And Pop just runs.
And of course, a monk against a child, he's definitely going to get there. You're definitely going to get there first.
I mean, I'm going to make it close.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just going to zoom off at double dash.
He's like, "Screw you, kid."
Yeah.
He's going to run off. And he comes to the front door.
Speaking of the kid,
And he looks at Baggi and Oshi.
should we inform his family that he's with us?
Yes, actually. And I've got just the thing.
All right.
And Baggy reaches into her pocket and pulls out one of the paper birds that she found in that old barrel. And again, using the pen, decides to scribble onto it. Craig with us is safe. And then the address of Troll Skull Manor. And just says at the bottom, "Come anytime."
You think that thing can carry gold?
I mean, we can try.
And Phatts takes out 15 gold pieces.
Oh my god, I don't know if he's going to be able to carry 50. But like, you fold it into the paper like an origami bird, and you whisper into it, Agnes Stables, It's like it runs across the floor like a chicken, and like,
It's like coughing, like
catching a bit of light a bit of height every now and then, as it runs off, literally having to run off. Its little legs sort of spread out, and then its wings drop down to legs, and it turns into a roadrunner, and it runs across the street.
I love that.
As you guys kind of like come through into the kind of the main hallway, as you enter what you recognize definitely as a layout for a pub. I'm just gonna get everybody so they can see, so the guys at home can see the whole layout. There we go. So you can see that you've got like the tap room is kind of where you are. You can see there's an old bar. The whole place is banjaxed. There's like cobwebs hanging off the ceiling, like there's bits of the wall sort of crumbling down. There's a bar that's sort of sitting in the center, that's sort of right in front of you. It still has a couple of like busted leather seats that sort of like this, the springs are all kind of coming out. And you can kind of feel that this kind of opens out to other areas sort of around. You could already, little Phatts is running. He's running around, climbing on things, jumping on things. He's jumping on a spring, and he gets a spring stuck in his butt, and he's jumping around on the butt like Tigger. And he's sort of jumping around, and he's having a whale of a time as you kind of look into this dusty room.
This is amazing.
I mean, it's big, but it's filthy. This is going to take ages to clean up.
But suddenly this glass that was on the bar moves 3 feet across and then smashes onto the ground when you said that.
Oh, fuck. Hello?
It's like silence.
Fucking Volo.
What?
Can Baggi do an Arcana check to see if that was some sort of magic?
Yeah, actually, could you do? Let's call it a nature check.
Okay. Oh, I'm in the wrong bit. Nature. Oh, 6.
Innately, you don't think that this is a magic thing.
Okay.
Which kind of then leans you towards like spectral, undead ghosts thought.
Mm.
But you have no evidence for that at all, from what you can see.
No, but I think that's enough to give Baggi the willies. So she just immediately gets out her lighter and goes into a stance, like ready for anything.
What is going on? Why are you all freaking out?
Place is haunted.
What?
Hey there, little Phatts.
He's like
Bart?
boing, 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 boing.
You should stop for a second there, little Phatts. Apart from the 5 of us in this room, can you see anyone else here?
No. And
Okay.
Oshi, you kind of have this feeling of something by the bar. You just sort of see something move.
Oshi walks to it, to where she thinks it moved to.
And I think there's one seat that isn't, where the springs aren't coming out or anything like that. It's just like it's fairly mouldy seat, but it's not falling apart. And you kind of jump up onto it.
Can she wipe her hand along the bar and blow the dust into where she thinks she saw the thing move to?
So you kind of like blow the dust, and it sort of doesn't do. You don't see anything sort of land on anything. It's not like it's. You figure that it's nothing sort of invisible, but this dirty rag kind of comes up into the air, right where you blew, and it kind of picks up this like dirty, horrifically dusty like glass sort of arises next to it, and it goes inside and starts like cleaning the glass. You just see these two objects sort of moving around, and then it pops it down. And then what's in the dust that's left, that's on the desk, it just says that this lines begins to be drawn as these letters start to appear on the bar. And it takes a while, and it comes up with, "What can I get you?"
And Oshi turns to the group and says, "We have a living landlord."
And then sort of like that slides across the dust, and he's like, "Living landlord?" question mark.
We have our own pub manager.
And then it's sort of like the glass picks up again and starts cleaning.
Can I get a pint of neck oil, please?
And it's just sort of like turns, and the glass goes over to a barrel.
Neck oil.
To a fucking barrel, and like you can see the barrel's got neck oil written across the top of it. And as soon as it hits like the tap, it goes. It's just like this, like coagulated jelly pours out of the jar and lands inside this glass. And the glass gets put onto the desk, onto the bar for you.
Just how I like it.
And it's sort of then the cloth kind of picks up, and then this letters begin to walk right on the side. It's like 3CP.
3C.
Fuck. Photo. Fuck. Fucking bastard. Okay,
What?
you see here now, Ghosty. We're the owners of this building, okay?
And the glass gets chucked across the room.
Don't
Smashes
fuck
against
with
the
me.
side.
Either show yourself or fuck off.
And then
Oshi
the
just
mirror smashes against the side, and it cracks open, and then this chair begins to kind of move in the living room as well, as he's like begin to really annoy this spectral ghost, and like stools start falling over. Inside all of this, you can see little Phatts is sort of like sat in the middle, sitting on his spring, sort of like just watching the furniture like fly across the room.
Someone
then
look
this
after the child.
And then a shard of glass comes up.
Pups goes over to little Phatts and stands between little Phatts and the glass shard.
And the glass shard like, then instantly just turns away from the child and moves towards Big Phatts.
What can we call you?
And it drops. And the shards drop to the ground. And then the shards begin to be reformed like a mosaic. And you see the word Lif. Lif.
If, huh? Well, I ain't paying for no piss poor neck oil.
And you just feel this like sort of like come towards you and then disappear again. And he kind of gives you the willies. You're like,
I fucking hate ghosts.
I knew it was too good to be true. Volo giving us an entire mansion.
This is not good. This is a shithole.
Mm.
But it's ours.
and then it just on the bar it says, "Ours?" question mark.
Oshi says, Lif, if we get you new, fresh stock, we could all happily belong together.
And it's like glasses. So it's getting stacked up across the bar. And it's sort of then this like small mechanical, it almost looks like a child's toy, It looks like a mechanical kind of golem. It's sort of like, and you see the side sort of turning, and it pops it down. And its little legs are like ding, 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 and then it just goes across, and it's way far away from the edge of the bar, and it suddenly just goes, boom, falls off the edge of the bar.
What is wrong with this ghost?
I did tell it to fuck off, so...
And Oshi, you feel a chair go in between, like go behind your legs. And you sit down. Baggi, you feel a chair go behind your legs as you sit down. Pups, you feel a chair go behind your legs as you sit down. And then you get a slap across the back of the head. Big Phatts.
Fucking shithole.
Right. I mean, my experience of ghosts is that they always want something. That's why they're hanging around, or at least that's what I've read. So, Lift the ghost. Is there anything we can do to make you happy?
And then on the table that's in front of you, you just see the words open.
Open. Oh. Well, open the pub.
And it says building.
Open the building.
Are you a smoking ghost, Lift?
Silence.
Where's the cellar, Liv?
And behind the bar, you feel. Oh, I've gone off to a weird thing again. Behind the bar, you just hear like a trapdoor go.
Open the cellar. Maybe they've got some good alcohol down there at least.
So you kind of start to realize that there is way more in this building to kind of explore. I think you guys have been in enough pubs to know that sort of like usually the rooms you'd have to go outside to go back in again. To go for the inns of the pub. But the pub itself, you know, there should be some sort of kitchen. There should be some sort of cellar, which you've now identified as being a spot you can go to. And there tends to be like a very singular sort of big fireplace that's available inside as well. Yeah, Liv wants a lock-in. That's what they want. So you kind of like have a look around and so you hear this trapdoor like open up behind the bar.
Someone want to go exploring with me?
Craig?
He's like bouncing. Boing, 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 boing. There?
Do you want to go on a little adventure with Pups?
There? He's sort of like bouncing already over towards Pups. You can see he's got a newspaper, under his arm that he picked up on the way in. And he's bouncing towards Pups.
What's that?
And he pulls it out and pops it on the bar. Bit of paper. And it goes boing, 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 boing.
Oh, let me see that bit of paper. I think I know just what we can do with this. Can I have a little read of it?
Because yeah, sure. You pop it down and you see the front page, and on the headline it's Waterdeep Gazette, and on the headline is Black Star 4 saves Lord.
Oh. And is it? I just show it up to everyone. I'm like, we're famous.
So you kind of all huddle around this bits of paper. As you begin to read, you see that the main thing is that your names are missing. The thing that kind of comes through is that there's these 4 anonymous sort of heroes that they know they come from Black Star Lane. But they know that they saved Lord Neverember from the clutches of the Xanathar and the Zentarum. One thing that does concern you is that it does also give that you have moved to the North Ward. But there are no names on it. And then I think as you're looking at it, Big Phatts, you see the date on the newspaper. Today's date.
Phatts turns away, lights a cigar, and just starts looking around the rest of the room.
Okay. So what I'll do, I'll quickly describe what you can see. You have this kind of main kind of open space. It's clear that we then have a kind of weird, very strange looking short shaped space, which clearly to be the tower of the building. That if you can continue up through the floors, it would continue to the end of the spire. You can see there's a big fireplace here. There's a number of tables around, and you think that behind the bar, it probably would link around to some sort of storeroom or possibly kitchen. But you know that this building also has at least another 3 floors above it, at least.
Phatts is going to start trying to look for a way upstairs.
Cool. So I think you light your cigar as you come outside, sort of respectfully smoking outside. And you can see. No, inside.
No, Phatts is smoking inside.
Smoking inside, but your knowledge of inns to go upstairs, you would know you probably need to go outside.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of like make your way around, and you kind of come to round the side of the alleyway onto like one of the main street. You see there's a set of stairs that kind of goes up and takes you up to the second floor. So unfortunately, this is a sort of American style. So you guys are on the first floor instead of ground floor, second floor, third floor, fourth floor, etc. And you kind of come up to a common room. And it's just sort of a big open space. You can see there's some doors leading to the north, and there's a doorway leading to the south. You think that from the shape of the building, you think that the north will go on to like another part of that turret as you start to explore around. You pop your head in through this room, and you can see that there's a stairway that goes up further, and there's a number of other rooms. This is starting to become like an expansive building for you.
Any sign of the master bedroom?
You're clear. You think that this is probably not it. You think as a tavern, this would probably more rented rooms. Like the coolest building, the coolest rooms are here, but you think that maybe there might be building like rooms upstairs that might be bigger.
Phatts will continue upwards then.
Okay, so you continue upwards, and you guys are back downstairs looking at this newspaper. Actually, no, we'll carry on with Phatts. So Phatts, you kind of make your way upstairs onto the landing. And here you can kind of smell like old books. And you kind of crank over this way, and you see go past a stairwell that goes up a bit further, and you see that there is like a doorway which looks nicer than the others.
I'm gonna open that fucking door.
You kind of you make your way in, and as you kind of go through the door, you find yourself in this really nice big room. But there's a 4-poster bed, but it is completely trashed. There is nothing else in the room. There's 2 windows, just giving you lots of lovely light. And then you kind of you can see there's a doorway open that looks like it's a tiled room. As you can see, almost what looks like a private bathroom attached to your room.
Well, seeing as I don't need to piss or shit, I'm gonna change that into a wardrobe.
As you kind of continue to kind of walk around and sort of begin to sort of imagining what you can kind of create in this room. Downstairs, you guys are sort of still looking at this newspaper. You kind of didn't notice that Big Phatts left.
Baggi grabs the newspaper to see if the actual article's been signed, it's been accredited to the author who wrote it.
Mm-hmm. So it's been written by a journalist called Ralph Ralph Lomley.
Ralph Lomley. Is this a
they
familiar name or?
Yeah, I think you've seen, especially you, Baggi. I think you might have read newspapers. Often, Big Phatts would also know this name as well. They're quite a famous sort of like front page, sort of crack reporter.
Yeah.
For the Waterdeep Gazette, sort of star name.
Baggi just grabs it and goes, Ralph Lomley. Of course, it's Ralph Lomley. But the question is, who told Ralph Lomley about this? Because I don't particularly want everyone to know about this new place, where we all are.
Well, who is it that likes to shoot their mouth off and also knows where we've been going?
Captain of the City Guard?
I'm more thinking of someone whose moustache I want to rip off.
Oh.
Stick it in a box above this bar.
Yeah.
But yeah. I've got to say, Black Star 4 sounds pretty cool.
It does sound pretty cool, doesn't it?
As you you turn around and you look around for a staircase, because a sudden realization that Big Phatts ain't there, and have they just bagsied the best room in the whole house?
I'm gonna go find him. You coming?
Baggi's already run off.
Pups picks up little Phatts over like fireman carry style, like, and just races after.
So I'm gonna let you guys sort of like choose rooms.
Oh my god!
Well, this is exciting.
But I think you're sort of like you go to run past Oshi, and Oshi sort of seems to be staring at the bar, so slightly transfixed by what's happening behind the bar. And then a chair moves, and she becomes really interested with like the chair that's moved. As you guys kind of go up and start sort of choosing your rooms and start figuring out where you want to go, and suddenly like Baggi, suddenly Oshi kind of cracks out of it a bit, and she sort of like follows you and goes to choose the room.
You're gonna end up the smallest.
You run upstairs. So I'm gonna let you guys kind of take some time and do a choice of where you want to go. Whilst the rest of us are going to have a tiny little break, whilst you guys get settled into your new abode, and we'll come back and we'll talk about whereabouts you guys have decided to sleep, because you are now choosing rooms, which I think is really, really cool.
Oh yes,
great. All right, guys. Well, welcome to your new home.
It's lovely.
Welcome to fame, fortune.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's something, I don't know, man. Like there's something really lovely about like I think it was something that Rob said. You know, like it's the first time first time we'll have actually slept by ourselves.
Yeah.
Had our own room.
One is the loneliest number that you ever knew.
Oh, we're definitely going to end up. It's great in theory. We'll end up having sleepovers every night. Yeah. Okay.
Massive.
Can I come in?
I'm scared. I think I've got another ghost in my room.
Oh, Liv. I love Liv. All right. So Rob hates Liv. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little break. I think, Dan, I'm going to throw it over to you for a little bit.
Yes. If you have 2 minutes during this break, please head over to our Facebook page, Sabotage the DM. I'll put the link in the chat in a second. Please head over there, give us a recommendation, a 5-star review, because it means that all the videos that we post go up the algorithm, and that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Lovely. So we're going to be back in a little bit, and then we'll continue with our story of our guys in the North Ward Troll Skull Alley. First, we're going to have a little chat from our good guys over at Buck, and then we'll have a little break. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Who is responsible for this outrageous atrocity? Ta-ta!
Happy Monday.
Happy Sunday Monday. Sunny Monday.
Oh
It's
yeah.
Sunny Money Spring Monday. Sunny Money Spring Money Mallrats Monday. Welcome back, everybody.
I think
Love
that's,
that.
can someone reload Joe? Can someone shift F5 Joe? Who's got a paper clip? Stick it between his shoulder blades.
Exactly. Welcome, D&D. Cool. Okay, so you guys have now chosen all of your rooms, which is great. But I hope everybody at home has had a nice time to get a drink and has given us 5-star reviews, which I really hope you have done. And I would say again, if you're there and you want to say chat and say hi, our community is wonderful and they were lovely and welcoming. Do say hello. And if you're lurking in the background, and just give us a little follow. It means the absolute world to us if you follow. We really appreciate that. All right, so you guys have been choosing rooms. Yes. Okay, so let's go have a look and see where you guys have settled. All right, so let's start with the second floor. Okay, so Pups, you've taken what's known as the den.
Yeah, so Pups ran up and wanted something turrety, so saw this big sort of turret room and had a look, and then realised that you've got lots of space up one end where we can maybe do a bit of training. I think there's probably some old bits of furniture that he can bring up and users blocks to hit and things like this. And also, I'm guessing that these little things here are terraces.
Yeah, so you got a little balcony.
Yeah, so I think there's just a great spot there. This is west facing, so Pups can sort of sit there and just meditate and watch the sunset.
Really lovely. And then down the way from there, we've got little Phatts has decided to take a room. So I'm just going to show everybody at home what little Phatts looks like.
Prepare yourselves. It's cute.
My word! Look at that little cutie pie. Isn't he just
Maximum
beautiful?
cute.
He's so
So cute.
beautiful. Like I'm going to give him a plus 400 on his charisma checks because he is gorgeous.
Eyelashes.
I know, right? Eyes and eyelashes. And he's just a little bit further down from you in the spare bedroom, the bedroom down the bottom. Which means, as Dan said on the break, it was like, he can crawl into bed if he gets scared, which I think is wonderful.
Little corridor for little Phatts.
My God, he's so sweet. So that's the kind of like the second floor, which means we've still got the hall and the common room and the spare room available for anything else that might prop up in this adventure. As we go up to the third floor, so let's start at the top. So right above Pups, it looks as if you've taken a very strange looking space. Oshi?
Yeah, well, the door is kind of south, and so Oshi, being paranoid, knows that she can hide behind the corner if anybody tries to get in, and also she can shoot arrows out from the turrety room that she's also next to, and she's got a private bathroom, so no one's going to come pissing in her room.
And loads of open windows as well. You've got window 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 windows in your room, which is lovely. Okay, and then down past your window to the south, we have we call the big room, where Big Phatts is.
The grand room.
The grand room. I'll take that. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, grand room. Windows overlooking the front of the house. Private bathroom, might fill that bath with oil. Away from all the other fuckers as well. So content.
We got 2 toilets as well on this floor, 2 privies.
Yeah.
And also you've got the library as well on this floor, which might be interesting to a certain half orc. Might be quite interested in that room.
Smoking room.
Where all the paper is, definitely smoking room.
Yeah.
All right.
Every room is a smoking room. Oh my God.
And then if you go up the stairs to what's known as the garrets, we get into the attic rooms, where Baggi, you kind of found yourself.
Yeah, Baggy was like, I want to go right to the top because that just sort of screams privacy and also just not has never been an option before. Do you know what I mean? And there's also that lovely attic storage space, which she's basically already bagsied. Like, baggied. Bagsied it. Yeah. For all of her wonderful things that she is going to be making.
Lovely. I also notice here that Oshi, that little turret room is double height because you got the turret peak next to Baggy there. So I think your little turret area is double ceilinged, which is great.
Oh shit! So you can climb up higher.
Sneak up to Baggies.
Yeah.
I think they're slightly disconnected, but you can probably climb out a window, get across the roof, and climb in through a window for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
cool.
Just leap, and Baggy's just looks at a window and it's just got Oshi like.
And I'm just over the window like, sleepover!
It's more like, I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Sneaky. Just sneaking around.
As we kind of like see this, like the attic bedroom, bare walls, brown nicotine stained, no furniture whatsoever, and we see Baggy sort of sat on the floorboards, sort of looking out at this like blank, boring, brown room. As she gets her lighter out, flick, 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 beginning to become bored of the space already. And a thought goes through your head. You need to make something. I need to make something. Make something. Just anything. Make something. You pull out this piece of parchment. You throw it on the ground. And you pull your reloadable ink pen. And you start scribbling down ideas. The first idea you come up with, you think of a soda stream. And it's just like, no. And you sort of scrunch it up. And you throw it across the side of the room. And you watch the paper land in the corner. And you look across at it. Click, click, click. And you start scribbling again. What's your second idea that you come up with?
Second idea is a very mundane way of cooking eggs and loading it onto the plate, and immediately goes, no, rubbish, not
And
useful.
And you scrunch it up, and you throw it into the corner of the room. And you watch the arc of the thing go over and land in the corner of the room. And you walk over to the corner. And you draw like a little semicircle in the corner. And you wander back and you sit back where you were and you take a piece of parchment. You scrunch it up. And you throw it. And it lands outside of the circle and you're like, So you kind of go over to the wall with your pen. And you start like drawing equations about trajectory, and then you go sit back down and you scrunch up a piece of paper and you throw it, and this time it lands in the center. You're like, okay. You pull out some bits and pieces out of your pockets.
So, including a gazer that's probably dead, by the way.
The gazer's looking over like, and Erebus Nick, thank you very much for joining us, for the fellow, much appreciated. As you put this gazer down, the gazer looks at you, three eyes because one's been blown off, and you look at it, and you notice that the refraction of the glass, and you're like, oh yeah. Is there an open window somewhere? And you sort of start searching for a breeze somewhere that might be affecting your trajectory. And you kind of wander over to the window and you kind of look out the window and you sort of feel there's a slight breeze coming through. So you stuff it with whatever you can find in your pocket. It's probably some moss, because you're bound to have moss in your pocket. And
Defo
you sit back down and you like create some sort of like almost like an elastic band thing.
Mm.
And you fire it, and it lands just outside of the circle. What's the next thing that you're gonna start to think about?
Actually, sort of measuring the sort of length being pulled back on the elastic band, in some way, and also trying it out with like different hands, seeing if it works with different like types of material, like maybe some string or whatever, like basically just trying out different things to come up with a way for it to work every single time, no matter what.
And he keeps going, and it keeps having these kind of different effects. Sometimes it goes in the right place, sometimes it doesn't, but you start to kind of get to a place where you start to understand the idea of trajectory. Of like, okay, I might not be able to get the power consistent, but I understand the angle which I'm supposed to be at. And you kind of wander over to the window and you look out onto the street, and across the road you see these two kids, and one's like, "Go long!" He's like, "What? Go long!" And he's like, takes a step back. He's like, "No, longer!" And he sort of steps back, and his kid like launches this ball, and you watch it curl through the air, and as it lands into the glove, we just see the suitcase land on the ground, or a backpack land onto the ground of this dusty grand bedroom. As Big Phatts starts to kind of open up his bag. He sits in this kind of like blank, empty room on this broken bed, and all he can think about is the date.
And he lights another cigar, and before he takes his first drag, he kind of holds it up and looks aimlessly towards the ceiling, and just says, "To my brothers and sisters who are no longer with us, fight on." And then he takes a drag.
It's like, knock, 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 knock. So you can hear this leg, something knocking on your leg.
And he thinks it's the door to begin with. He goes, "Hello? Oh, shit. Hello."
Which you mean about fighting on?
I just mean that when things get hard, you have to find a reason to keep going.
I don't know what you mean. I'm only 8.
I'm aware. So did you find your room?
Yeah? It's big. It's as big as the stable was when we were back at home.
Yeah, you happy with it?
Yeah?
Well, listen, little Phatts. We've written a letter to your family and told them...
His face goes completely flat.
Told them that you are with us. We are gonna wait to see what they say in return, but just know, little Phatts, that you are always welcome here.
And his hand kind of comes up and sort of holds onto your finger. And he sort of like leans in. I want to stay here.
You can stay here, but did you tell anyone that you were leaving when you went looking for us?
And he looks up at you with those big eyes. I left a note.
What did you say on that note?
Bye.
Yeah. I figured as much. Well, they're likely worried about you, so we just need to let them know that you're safe and sound.
Okay. What's that? And he points over to a box that's in your bag.
That is some of my belongings.
But that look, and he like points over at the box again. He said, "That looks different from your other stuff. The other stuff's made of metal. That stuff's wood."
Well,
And Phatts goes over and picks it up. What is it?
It's you go into your bag and you pull out your medals.
And he opens the box.
And little Phatts jumps onto your knee as you're sat on like the broken bed. And he sits on your knee.
these are for things that people told me I did well.
Wow, they're so shiny.
Yeah, they are, but the shine doesn't encapsulate the trouble that I had to go through.
Like shoe horses.
Yeah.
Shoes for horses are the same.
That's
Nobody
right.
thinks about shoes for horses. But have you ever tried to like get a horse to stay still while you try and pin it, especially when you're only 1.5 feet tall like I am?
I can imagine that's very hard.
So I know what you mean. And he like taps your leg.
Thank you, little Phatts. Hopefully, you'll never have to be given one of these medals.
But they look so shiny.
They are not worth it, little Phatts.
So it looks up at you. Okay. He puts his little finger up.
And Phatts puts his little but significantly larger finger up.
Yeah, essentially he has to use his 2 hands to hold your little finger. And he's like, I promise I will never get a medal.
If someone tries to tell you to go for war, say no.
And he sort of goes completely straight and he says, okay, big Phatts. I promise.
All right. You know I knew your father.
His eyes just stop. I didn't know my father.
His name was Rex. He was a good man.
My mama used to say that I looked like him.
You do.
She said I had the same nose and the same attitude.
You've got the exact same personality as Rex. Fucking irritating little prick.
So, did you know him before he died?
I did.
Mama said that he was in the Battle of the Valley.
So was I.
And he sort of like takes a step backwards from that, actually. Takes like a step back. Why didn't... So you knew him when he died?
I did.
But you're so big and strong, how come he's not here now?
He was stronger than me.
You could have protected him.
I know. I tried.
And he looks to the floor and sort of shuffles his feet.
Do you know what he did, though?
What?
He was surrounded by 50 different men. Swords pointed at his neck. And he was able to defeat every single one of them. Bravest man I ever met in my life. Gave kobolds a good name across the lands. And you remind me of him.
And you just see the dusty floor, single drop of water land onto it. And it sort of like cleans the floorboard. See.
You know what you should really be called?
What?
Little Ricks.
I like that.
So do I. And he'd like it too.
Ricks. Ricks.
Ricks.
Ricks. He's like, Ricks! And he sort of like
Ricks.
And they sort of start chanting together. And then it's sort of like the jolliness sort of comes back down again.
But remember, you fight on your own terms. Not for someone else.
We used to go to the City of the Dead on days like this.
Would you like to go today?
There.
I'll take you.
And he nods respectfully and runs downstairs, leaving you to prepare yourself to go to the City of the Dead.
And Phatts stands up, taking the cigar, and he again looks aimlessly towards the ceiling.
Well, fuck me, Ricks. Had you told me that your kid was such a little shit stain, I would have never taken him on as my own.
A sort of silence kind of kicks through. Well, what do you expect from the boy on my loins?
Phatts doesn't move or say anything.
And you don't hear anything else.
And Phatts packs up his stuff and starts heading downstairs.
When you get downstairs, you see that little Rix is stood by the door. And he puts his arms out like this, and this coat comes over, floats over, and his arms go in. He starts doing the top buttons as the bottom buttons start getting done up for him. And he sort of stands there and he's like, Mum always said we had to wear this coat.
All right.
Do you like it?
I think you look dashing.
And I think you look brave.
Thank you.
He sort of puts his hand up and grabs onto your pinky. As you kind of leave, you come out the front door. You make your way through the city on a long walk from Trollskull Alley, which is here, all the way down to the City of the Dead. To here. Sun is blazing. It's a nice, hot, warm day. And you kind of come into this beautiful, well, essentially is a park, city park, which is the main cemetery for the whole of Waterdeep. And sat directly in the centre is a great limestone monolith. And it's just known as the Remembrance Stone.
Are there any names on this?
Yes, thousands of
I think Phatts knows where a few names are in particular.
It's sort of like this, the glare from the white stone is blinding. So you kind of look over and you go straight to fourth column, 4 names down. And you see that R.
That right there. That's your daddy.
He comes over and puts his hand over. What's a sergeant?
A sergeant is someone who looks after other people and gives out orders.
See. Do you know all of these people?
I don't know all of them. But you see this right here?
And he points somewhere along another name 2 rows to the right. And it says Oliver Shifty Grayson.
This? Have you ever met a shifter before in your life?
And you gotta look confused, and he goes, I know someone who's shifty.
Yeah, that's not quite the same. It's a person who can change into part animal, like a wolf man.
And you just hear, I am not a wolf.
And Phatts goes very still again.
Mr. Big Phatts, you okay?
Yes. Anyway, Shifty fought with your father and I, and he was a good man too. And this right here,
Kind of like, let's have a look.
Lysindar. You ever met an Eladrin before?
He shakes his head.
They're elves.
Ah.
She was the most ferocious elf I had ever seen in my life.
Like Mama was.
Oh, well, I think that your mama is definitely comparable to Lysindar. In fact, I'm sure your mother was tougher.
But what did Lysindar do?
Lysindar was able to jump from here all the way up to there and take out a whole army in the process.
And he says, I bet you 20 quid I could do it again.
Can you hear that, little Rex?
What?
Nothing.
Look, a butterfly! And he runs off. And he runs to go, and you just see him like chasing a butterfly in the cemetery. And watch him play. As you look across at these names.
Phatts actually draws his 2 hand axes.
If this is some kind of trick, show your face now and I'll put an end to it.
Anger as always. Do you hear Rix's voice? There's this sort of like small blue glowing kobold steps out of the stones. You alright, mate?
I am considering whether I have lost my fucking mind right now, so no, I am not all right.
Hang on, give me a sec. And he kind of runs over to you, and you see him run towards you and jump. He goes to slap you, and his hand goes through your face. Hey, Bert?
What is this?
Well, you know, you're old enough now, aren't you? Look at you. Big man.
Same size as when you knew me.
Yeah, true, but you just seem different. Still smoking?
Course.
Then you just hear this other voice. It's just like, of course he's still smoking.
Fuck.
It's
The
just,
whole fucking platoon here?
as you see these other two, you see this sort of almost like very hairy, big-nosed, sharp-toothed sort of person sort of stand in spectral light. And more importantly, stood on top of the cenotaph is the so on the remembrance dome is this high elf. She looks down at you. She jumps, lands. That's 20 quid you owe me.
Yeah, I remember. What are you doing here?
Well, Feels like you need a reminder
Of what?
that you lived.
I don't need a reminder. It's every fucking moment for me.
Well, let me rephrase that. We died so that you could live.
Well, thank you for reminding me.
Still don't get it, do you?
No, I don't get it. I haven't seen fucking ghosts before. Why now?
Not
Why you
ghosts.
three?
We're not ghosts.
And what are you?
Guardians.
What do I need guarding for? I can handle myself.
Yeah, but can you handle that little scruff?
Absolutely not. And he looks at Rex.
Rex is like, "That's why I'm here, innit? Because you can't only got to look after you got to look after him."
So what is it, spiritual daycare or something?
Believe me, if I didn't have a spectral hand, I'd fucking slap you around the face. I really would. Do you remember day one of the operation? You weren't the youngest. And Shifter goes, "No, I was." It's like, "Shut up, Shifter." But you were the most inexperienced.
Yeah.
Everyone looked at you as some sort of explosive tank, like a strategic opportunity. We
People
saw
still
you,
do.
but we saw you as a friend. A young mind stuck in a ever-living body of steel. Now, you're my age. And the elf goes, "My age." And Shifter goes, "Yeah, you're still older than me, though." And it's like, "Shut up, Shifter." We want you to know that we're with you. Like we always were.
And somewhere from very, very far behind Phatts, he just hears the distant sound of distant, but it doesn't get any closer.
It's almost like a sound that just sort of kicks through. Oh yeah, he's come along as well.
Well, if you could do me a favor and only talk to me when I'm alone, I don't think that I could try and keep up this charade of hearing several different voices at the same time.
Yeah. But to be honest, he kind of like, you see Rix pull out this maul. He slaps it over the back of his back, and he's like, "I know what, I'm actually up for a bit of a battle. Any time you need me, mate." You open up that big heart of yours, and you scream, and I'll come running. 'Cause I'm there for you, brother.
All right. Well, as long as I'm not changing nappies, I might give you a call.
And then you see Shifty, Shifter,
Shifty.
Shifty, look over at you, and he's like, "Yeah, man, whenever you need my fangs, they're yours, brother." And then you see your platoon captain, the elf. She comes up to you face to face. She says, "I'm proud of you, boy."
Thank you.
And he kind of stands to attention a bit.
And they all stand to attention. And then as you sort of stand to attention, you just hear this voice of like, not many of us sort of stand by these memorial stones anymore.
Phatts looks to his left.
You see this kind of like shiny armored dwarf. He stands next to you. He kind of looks up at the stone. He goes, I was on the 53rd.
Yeah, I was on 103.
They never know, will they? Nobody.
I
was
hate
there.
this fucking day.
Yeah, me too. But every time I shine up my armor, they come here. I miss them so much. Every day.
You and I both. Want to smoke?
I had to give it up, but you crack on. He
I'll
pulls
smoke
out-
for you.
He pulls out a hip flask and sort of opens it up instead, so that you crack open a big cigar and he downs a big shot.
To those we lost.
To the true heroes. He sort of drinks. And he also has a box. He opens a box, and inside is the gold dragon, which is the same medal that you have. It's very rare to have the gold dragon, the Waterdeep gold dragon. And he sort of closes it again. It's like a medal for surviving, you know what I mean?
It's not for us. It's for those that give it out.
Yeah. So you know what? It's taken me 25 years to figure that out. Thank you. He puts it down on the stone itself. What was your name?
Phatts. Big Phatts.
It just goes, General Nook.
Look.
Puts a big hand out. And you see across his palm is tattooed the 53rd. Across his hand.
Where'd you get that tattoo?
We all got one. Just before the battle.
I'm thinking
Sure.
of getting one done for me as well.
I think you might be a little less traditional tattoo, if you know what I mean.
An engraving, then, you might say.
Much better. Look. You need any work? You doing alright?
I might. What do you have in mind?
It's not that I have in mind, it's just that we need to look after each other, brother.
Thank you,
Hands.
Nook.
And he hands you a piece of paper. When you kind of grab the piece of paper, you realise that the front of his armour is a huge, like, steel gauntlet. Has been kind of sort of inside the blacksmith work of the plate. It's like a huge gauntlet that stands in the middle of his chest.
Do I know what this gauntlet is or represents?
I think I don't even need to get you a history roll. This is the Order of the Gauntlet. It's it's very much an organisation that is for justice, for good, and it's usually made up of ex-soldiers, paladins, fighters, and the like that have moved towards the removal of evil in the world.
Is this working for the city?
No.
I don't work for the city anymore.
No, neither do I. This is for the whole of the coast.
This better not be another war.
Sometimes it is. But if you get stuck, give me a shout.
Thank you, Nook. I'll think on it.
No worries. Is it yours?
Yeah.
And you can see that he's trying to pull an angel off of a gravestone.
And Phatts points at Rick's name on the memorial.
It's his kid.
Ah, gotcha. And he's like, "Hey, you boy." And it's like sort of hanging off the edge of a wing.
Such a little shitbag.
Like, come here. He sort of wanders over, sort of sheepishly, and looks up at you, Big Phatts. And he looks over at Nook, and it goes, "Do you know what chocolate is?" He's like, "I know what a sweeties is." It's like, okay. It's a bit like a sweeties. He looks over at you as if like, "Do you mind if I?"
If you're about to make him more hyper by giving him some sugar, I will recommend you do the opposite. I'm trying to get him hooked on smoking.
And he goes, "Of course not," and hands him a chocolate bar. And then smiles at you and winks. And
Well, thank you, General.
And he's like, "Leading a platoon of soldiers is easier than dealing with a single hyperactive child. Have a good day."
Oh,
Well, fuck me.
And he
I
look
hate
over,
this fucking day.
and he's already covered in chocolate. He's like, and he runs off chasing like what you can imagine might be a bird, but you have no idea as he just started running around. And suddenly he stops and turns around and comes back over and holds your hand. It's cold.
Why the
over-
change of heart?
It's cold over there.
Cold.
And as you look up, you see that Rix is stood in the pathway where he stopped.
Yeah. Getting cold out. I've got an idea how you can still run, but you stay close by.
And he
Okay.
picks him up by like the back of the shirt and holds him just above the ground, like you do with small dogs, and they just still run as if they're just off the ground.
And he's like, they start just like chanting and chattering. as he's
talking
like-
in tongues.
Hey, little Rix, say goodbye to your daddy.
Bye, Daddy. And he sort of carries on. As you kind of lift him, you look across over a hill, and you see I'd say he's about 5'1", stout being, in blue with this huge beard, and he has a club over his shoulder. As you look over at the horizon, you see him, but you notice that this part of his face is completely blanked over, as if he has no mouth. As he sort of goes to put his club across his back, and you see that his arms are chained, and they're connected to his feet, and they're connected to the ground. Looking out the window of your room, Baggi, you decide to kind of like see the kid sort of throwing a ball, and you start to run downstairs. So you run downstairs and you kind of step out into the street. And you see a woman. You see the kids like throwing balls at each other, and you're watching the trajectory. And then the ball comes over and hits the kid in the face. He's like, "Oh, oh!" And he then drops to the ground and starts crying, screaming his head off. And you see this older woman sort of come out of a shop, and he's screaming, he's crying, and then as soon as she comes into the vicinity, sorry, I've turned into a thing again. Comes into the vicinity of the kid, he stops crying and looks up at her. It is almost as if he feels better from being around her. A small bag is then delivered to the front door of the Troll's Call alley as you're out on the street, watching the rest of this kind of world going on. And there's a big bang on the door. Pups, you run downstairs.
Yeah, just immediately fling the door open.
And you open up and you see that there is a small velvet bag, green velvet bag, bit left. It's about this kind of size, sort of, say grapefruit size. Everything's grapefruit sized in this bunch of it. It's about grapefruit size sort of bag.
No sign of who's left it.
Not at all.
No tag, nothing.
There is a twig attached to like the string.
Pups opens it. No, Pups runs upstairs, goes into the den, and opens it.
So as you kind of open it up, you see inside is full of seeds.
Do I have any idea what kind of seeds they are? No.
No. See, did you put your hand in and sort of touch?
Yeah,
it?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna see if there's anything like inside within the seeds.
So you kind of
Put my
pick it
hands to it.
up, and as your hands kind of pick up, this spills out over your hands, and they don't hit the floor. They stop. They float, and they begin to sort of swirl and start leading towards the door.
And so that they're almost like it's like a runway, right?
Yeah, they're sort of floating in the air towards the door.
And there's like a moment when it comes out and when Pups is like quite shocked, but then as the thing sort of calms down, he almost falls into a bit of a trance and starts to follow. Just very calm, very resolute, just follows the seeds.
You go down the stairs to the outside. And as you kind of go down, you see, I think Oshi's sort of at her window, having a fag out the window. And she watches you go, but you don't really see her.
Yeah, bit
As you-
tunnel vision.
And you're sort of like holding this bag as the seeds are sort of like almost leading you forward like a scent. Like, you know, in the cartoons where like a perfume gets sprayed. And then there's sort of,
Is that Pepe Le Pew? Is that?
yeah, exactly. Oh, not Pepe Le Pew, no. So you're sort of like walking along and you see that it's kind of following you through, and you end up kind of going through the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up walking all the way south towards the southern ward. You're in a fag, Oshi. And you kind of look out the window, you see Baggi sort of watching this child be smacked in the face with a ball and be obsessed by how the mother turns up and then it's okay. And she's writing notes. As you kind of look across, you see another dwarf. Got no beard, got a moustache. And he's looking up at you. He's having a fag. And he's like... And you realise you can see that it's tack.
Okay, she goes down.
And he comes down, he's like, what?
How did you find us?
Well, it's in the newspaper, isn't it? And as soon as I saw it on the newspaper, Black Star 4, that's what you talked. You do remember talking about it, right?
Right.
You, all famous and stuff.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you ever look at my card?
Your card? Yeah. It's up at the upstairs in the study. We've got a study now, apparently.
Oh,
I know.
oh, very nice. He sort of like laughs his way through. Are you going to turn it into a gambling den? Come on, you got to turn it into a gambling den.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably. Yeah, exactly. So you had a look at my card, so you know who I am then.
Well, yeah. Of course. I know who you are, yeah.
Do you want to do a persuasion check on that?
Oh, it's only a 9 anyway.
You didn't look at the card, did you?
I didn't look at the card. No, I didn't.
No, you didn't look at the card. You don't even remember taking the card,
I
did
had
you?
to go. We had to go and save some posho for being set on fire. I didn't look at the card.
Yeah, you're right. You're too drunk, right? Yeah. Yeah, come on.
I burnt your card.
All right, cool. All right, okay, that makes more sense. Like, I took gold from you. Sorry. I apologize. But I did win it. Just
You did win. You did, yeah.
Yeah, just I did win. So you have no idea who I work for then.
Who you work for?
I don't know. I just have a feeling about you.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Nah, you're fucking proper crazy.
Okay, what do you want?
You want in?
To
It leans forward. The guild.
of
He just opens up, and inside he's got poisons, blades, darts. He closes up again. It's alright if you don't. I get it. I get it. I totally do. I just having a punt.
so your
Assassin. Did a little research after you told me your name, by the way. Part of the Sotar, eh? Famous family.
Have you heard anything of them?
Of course I have.
Of more recent?
Nah. Anyway, who is it you're talking about? Ma? Dad? Sister?
All of them.
Let's see. Well, that was it's kind of a guild secret, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that you want it?
I was always told when I was little I couldn't come in.
No?
Yeah.
Well, it's lucky you're big now, isn't it? Make your own decisions. Make your own choices.
Yeah, too many defining features. I wouldn't be able to fly under the radar.
Wow. Who told you that?
Or you've ever seen a Yuan-Ti pureblood with so many scales?
I also haven't seen you anti pure blood lose so much money, but you know, we're all unique, aren't we?
Well, yeah. If you ever do see a mum or dad or sister, don't tell them that.
You still worried about what they think of you?
Are you not worried about yours?
Nah,
They're dead?
don't know. Don't care. Well, look, could be profitable. Could be a lot of fun. And hey, people might be scared of you.
And what do I have to do?
Prove yourself.
Kill people,
Person. Singular.
but multiple times.
Nah, just tonight. I just want you to... Just one. Tonight. Then we can start talking about contracts.
You want me to kill someone tonight?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, tonight. Proper tonight.
Okay.
Tonight. And he sort of like starts singing towards the street.
You're not very good at this. Or are you coming up with an alibi?
Me. See, the thing is, I don't need to prove myself to no one. I've done that. I've done my graft. You, newcomer. Yeah, you got a good family. Say what?
Who says I want to be in your guild?
Don't have to be. It's your choice.
Who have I got to kill? What have they done?
Just want a random kill. Anybody.
You.
All I want is lock of hair. Show me you done it. That's it.
I could go and steal a lock of hair off the closest person to me.
Good do. You know that I'd know that you know that I'd know that you know that I know that you know.
If I decide to do it, I'll bring you that head. Where will you be?
Some of that business card you said you burnt, when you actually burnt it, I'll come along and see you.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And after that, we can start talking about your family a little bit more, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, well, don't tell them I asked. If they're even still alive.
Yeah, of course. I'll let them know. Oh, I won't let him know. That's it, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I won't let him know.
How high are you up in the guild?
Well, I am what they call I'm what's called the drink. So I'm fairly high up, yeah.
You could have fooled me.
Yeah, that's what makes my job. That's what makes me so good at my job. And it's what makes you, potentially, the greatest my guild has ever seen.
What, because you saw me pissed?
Nah. You know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I think I might know that you know that I think I might know. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did.
Do you think this conversation's being listened in on or something?
No. As you look around, you can see that there are about 6, maybe 7 other people that are in strategic places around him. Definitely not. And if they did hear it, I doubt they remember it. Do you know what I mean? No. It's totally up to you. I'm not pressurising you to anything. Fuck it, you go join the Harpers for all I care.
The Harpers?
The option's there.
All right, thanks.
All right? Just burn a card when you're ready. If you ever. It's all right if you don't.
Yeah, I've got your card, all right. Are they all round here because they're scared of me killing you?
Yes. Because I know that you know. That I know that you think you know that I'm not as dangerous as you think I fucking am.
All right then, well, I've got your card.
Great. Have a good one, all right? Oh, an apple! And he walks over to a stool. He's like, oh, I love an apple. He's like, goes and grabs an apple. And he sort of like stood there looking over at him. And what are you thinking right now when you sort of see him walk away?
She's always been told that she would never, she like sticks out too much because she's got loads of scales all over her. So she thinks he might be trying to con her, or it's like a test from her family. She wants her family to care as much. She's like, I bet this is a test to see if they think that I think, you know. So she's, yeah. All right. He's got in her head, all right?
But what does she know?
Or what does she think she knows that he knows that she thinks he knows that she doesn't know? So you kind of watch him go off as you see Baggi with a pen and paper. And you see her across the street, and she's like writing down a piece of paper. She's looking at this noble woman who's like flicking out their fan. And she just sees that. And Baggi, in your brain, you see these like fins kind of go out. And you imagine them not made of fabric, but made of steel. And you sort of start drawing away. You start figuring out what the fuck could we do here. As we kind of go back to the city of the dead, as we see Big Phatts. And you're walking along. You've got maybe a couple of ice creams?
No, absolutely not. Not giving this kid more sugar. To try and calm him down a bit, I've taken him on a small tour of other cigar shops that are around, and I've bought some new leaf, and I'm getting him to smell the different bags and try to identify where they're from and what type of leaf it is.
So this one smells like horse popo.
Yeah, they all smell like shit, but it's not about that. It's about recognizing what kind of shit.
I don't know, because this one tastes like old poo, but this one smells like a horsey that's eating cherries and then pooed.
That's good. That's good. You got a good nose, kid.
Thanks. He's sort of like, you see these big nostrils sort of flaring.
So if I ask for the maple brand, which one am I looking for?
That one?
That's correct. And if I ask for Rocky Jew, then which one am I looking for?
That one?
It's this one here, but you were close because that does smell very similar. But if you smell it, can you smell that kind of cedar wood smell?
There.
That's the difference between the two.
And sort of like you go to smell it yourself. And you can smell like the smell of fireball, the smell of the spell fireball. And you sort of stop. And he said, it's like sandalwood.
Yeah, just like sandalwood.
Yeah. See, if I wanted to make one that tasted like cherry sandalwood, I'd put these two together.
Well, fuck me, yeah, I suppose you could.
And you watch him sort of placing these bits together. And you kind of as you're watching over, your memory kind of goes back. So Rick's sort of sorting out his bag. And he had a very particular way of sorting out his bag. Of like taking a pinch of this and sort of putting it so that it's squeezed together into what could be called a cube and then be packed into the bag. As you watch little Rick's, sort of touching all of the thing and putting it into a blend.
You give me that for a second.
So
And Phatts takes out a cigar leaf and masterly and with having years of practice, quickly rolls it into a cigar. And then he lights it.
Well, little Ricks, we are gonna be rich.
Yeah, so as you smoke, you see the smoke sort of coalesce into the air as we see Pups walk past, following his own sort of scent. As you kind of make your way, Pups, down south to the southern ward, as you see this great tree standing in front of a grand stone building. There's like the symbol that's sort of on the brickwork as well is like a swirl, and then the image of a tree. And the seeds seem to be aiming you towards the door frame itself.
And Pups sort of clenches his fists for a second, looking up at the tree, and takes a deep breath. And as he exhales, like lets the hands go and just walks directly towards the tree.
So as you walk towards the tree, it's almost as if the tree itself isn't actually there. As you open up to a grand hall, and it's a huge grand hall. There seems to be, so I've got a lot of background noise, my apologies. There seems to be like 6 goblins stood on pedestals. Each of them are stood, they have wrappings around their hands which are made of green velvet. And each of them have a tattoo on their chest of a tree. So you kind of step into this hall. There are 7 pedestals, and yet there are 6 of them who stand. You recognize one of the goblins. Dong. Ah, Zuha.
Hello.
Welcome to the Warriors of Dawn. This is the House of Dawn.
Thank you.
For what?
I saw you at the Battle of Black Star Lane.
And they all bow.
Pups bows.
You are a small seed, Zuha.
Yes.
Do you want to learn to grow, Zuha?
Yes.
I ask of you to be one thing and one thing only. Be honest.
Okay.
Before us there are 6 chambers of Dawn. You do not need to complete the 6 chambers. Merely choose when to stop.
Okay. Where? Now?
You are not prepared? Do you need some time?
No. No, I
asked
can do
you-
this.
I asked you to be honest.
Just give me 1 minute.
Of course. And they all sort of stand back.
Pups just sits down on his ankles and tries to breathe and tries to clear his mind.
Bong. So it fills the room.
Slows the breathing down. Tries not to think about what is to come, what lies ahead. Thinks about growth and expanse and belonging, and stands, opens his eyes.
As you open your eyes, you see there is a doorway.
And Pups goes to walk through.
As you push your hands into the door, You enter into a chamber. In front of you, you see 7 monks. And they go into fight stance. And begin to run at you.
Door number 1, okay. Are they real?
Do you want to do a wisdom check? See if
Yeah.
they're real?
Would it just be straight wisdom?
Let's do a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I'm happy for you to do whatever you like with those if you want
Yeah.
to use advantage. Go for
I think I'm going to use some bombs. We haven't had any bombs today.
it.
Unless if you're happy with me using bombs for this, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, 14.
As they run towards you, their hands come forward and when they go to punch you, and it goes past your face. As the other comes forward and goes to punch towards you, as it goes through your stomach to the side. As they begin to twist around each other, their open palm style seems to kind of push past you as you continue your way forward.
Yeah. Just without breaking eye contact, just continues to walk forwards as this goes around.
As you come towards a flaming door.
Deep breath. Hand on the door.
You take 4 fire damage holding onto the door frame. Do you want to continue turning the door?
Yes.
As you open the door, you walk in, and the door shuts behind you, and the room suddenly fills with water. As water fills up to the ceiling. Can you do a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Mm-hmm. I need to keep ticking off my my bombs as our lovely community is topping me up as we go. I'm going to use one for this as well. 22.
As you
Hold
kind of
that
like
breath.
begin to hold your breath, and you swim forward, and as you swim forward, suddenly it begins to turn to ice. As it becomes harder and harder to kind of swim through, and that ice holds you in place as it begins to turn to stone around you.
Oh.
As you begin to slightly panic that you might drown in stone. Kind of a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yep. Let's keep going with these bombs. Tell me if you want me to stop with bombs, Joe.
You crack on, mate. You carry on. You use them.
21.
21. Great. Says you kind of like, you think of all your might and you push outwards and the stone begins to crack. And suddenly you're in front of a door.
Is there anything untoward about this door?
No. Not that you think
Looks-
so, anyway.
Is there any
perception?
Yeah.
Want to use a bomb?
No. Should have used a bomb. 9.
It's a door.
It's a door. Pups goes to push it open.
23. Does that hit?
Yeah.
As you open the door, there is a warrior with a sword, samurai sword. What's the samurai sword called?
Katana.
The katana. And he slices down, and he slices across your arms. As you feel the blade cut through, as he looks at you and goes back into stance, and he says, "The blade is stronger than the fist." As you take so 1d8, I think it is actually. Oh, sorry. My apologies.
It's
Let's take a
okay.
little bit longer. 1d8.
Ooh.
Take 3 slashing damage as it slices
Okay.
across you.
And just stands there.
Stands there ready. You notice that the entire room is filled with hanging swords. Swords that are hanging from the ceiling. They're sticking out from the walls. They're all over the floor, sticking upwards.
Pups reaches behind, pulls out the staff, and drops it.
Puff, disappear. Just stood in front of another door.
The guy with the samurai sword's gone.
Yes.
Woo! Amazing. Another door. Let's check this door for fuckery. I'm so got like a low grade panic on the go. What would you like me to check, Joe?
So, you want to do perception?
Yeah. 10.
It's a door.
It's a door. There's not. Are there any rules or anything like that? Walls or anything like that around? It's just a door in space.
It's a door in space.
Okay. Gonna open that door.
So you open the door and there's this blinding light that fills your eye sockets. You're completely blind.
Walk forwards.
As you feel that the beam, it feels as if the floor kind of funnels until it's only 1 brick wide.
Okay. But can still keep going.
Yep.
So taking like 1 foot in front of the other, like feeling with your toes, like a good gymnast.
Can I have a dexterity saving throw, please? With disadvantage.
Yes. Disadvantage. Okay. Let's use a bomb to bring it to normal then. If that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
24.
So you walk your way across, you use your hearing to help guide you forward. As you come forward to another door.
Still blind.
The light sort of disappears and you have those spots.
Mm-hmm.
And they begin to clear as you look towards door number 6.
This is the final door.
Could be.
Let's not get cocky. Let's check out this door. 14.
It's a door.
It's a door. Open the door.
And in the centre of the room, you see a dwarf with a ginger beard and a ring around its beard, bleeding out on the ground. So he looks up at you and he says, "Doggy!" So we shift over to Baggi, and you watch. You sit there and you watch a juggler with fire as he's playing with the fire, and he's throwing the fire from left to right. Oh, we're back. Yeah, good. Throwing. Yeah, everyone's here. Good. Okay, good. As you throw, you see this like fire juggler, sort of throwing fire. I'm hoping you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Good. As you see this like fire juggler sort of throwing around fire, and you see the sort of the arc of the flame itself, and you're sort of interested in actually you look towards their palm and you realise that they've got like a small spark device inside their palm that they're flicking to cause this fire to sort of move around. And as you do so, suddenly a baby cries in the corner. And you see everybody in the street suddenly shriek away, like they almost as if they move like 10 feet from the sound itself. You scribble it down. As you turn and you go back towards the mansion. And as you kind of go through, you see Oshi come out of the front door. As the sun begins to kind of set, she leaves to go out. And you go upstairs to your room. And we see the door slam. And suddenly we hear bang, bang, bang. And these sparks begin to fly around the edges of your door frame. Bang! You fucking little bang! Just bend it! Bang! You sort of hear these like profanities, like absolutely sort of pouring out of your room as these sparks and blue light is flicking around the cracks of your old, dilapidated storeroom door. As we kind of begin to focus down towards the keyhole. So we get a small glimpse of what you're making. Can you give us a tiny little glimpse of what it is you're making?
A little cheeky glimpse. Baggi is in the process of making, out of various objects in the house that she found on the way and pipes and things, she's making some kind of explosive device, I guess, a ranged explosive weapon.
As we go and fade to black. Very, very nice. Okay, good. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
Good
my word.
doggy.
Good
doggy.
doggy. Okay. Well done, guys.
I know you can't have two of you doing it. That's
Ready? Both of us, both me and Rob are going to do a laugh now. Ready? Okay.
it's horrifying.
Horrifying. Okay. So we got about halfway through our journey into level 3. I think we've discovered one for sure. Level 3, motherfuckers. I think we've discovered one, which is Big Phatts. As we see the kind of ancestral sort of guardian beginning to form around you for sure.
Yeah.
I think the other 3 we haven't discovered yet, and we're going to have to come back next week and see them, see how they kind of form.
oh, so much cliffhanger.
So much cliffhanger.
So
Oh my god. Okay.
That was when Pups was going through all those doors. That was so much to handle.
Oh my god.
It was intense.
Yeah, Joe, you smashed this.
How fucking sketchy that lad from the Assassin's Guild was.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, he's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
mental. Tack is crazy. But to be honest with you guys, it's actually you that made that fucking incredible. So thank you very much for that. Everybody at home, I'm really glad you enjoyed a little bit. It'd be nice to kind of hear what you think might be going on and what you think kind of each of us are going to be taking in terms of our subclasses. So that could be quite interesting. I'm trying to remember where I put my code. I put it nowhere.
Zach, bless him. I did not sign up to feel so many goddamn things when I started watching you guys. Well freaking done.
Aw.
Love, Zach.
Love, Zach. I'm just going to grab the link for the Discord server and I'm going to post that into the chat so everybody can join there. It's been an amazing month of March. And we've managed to kind of have quite a good time and enjoyed ourselves very, very much. And again, I want to say massive thank you to all of you at home who have supported us, followed us, given us a review, posted and said hi, or even just lurked in the background. I really, really appreciate all of you. Is there anything that we would like to say?
Just tune in nice and early next week, because not only are we going to continue this journey into level 3, but also we're probably going to reveal what our next sub goal target is and what it's for. I'm so excited.
Very, very true.
It's going to be such a big episode like next week. I can feel it.
And also, those who like joining us on Fridays, we do our rerun of season 2. So if you do want to come and join us, that would be great fun. Hopefully next week I will sort out my internet issues. Here is the Discord server. If you'd like to come and join, I have no idea what I'm doing with Discord. Hey, we all learn, and we'll have some fun and join out and hang out with each other.
Come and join us.
Come and join us. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love you guys very, very much. As usual, I think keep planning heists on your landlords.
Always.
Always. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and get on the street and fucking protest. Love you guys. I will see you guys next week. Okay, bye.
Mwah.
Big love.
Bye. 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 Bye.